Waterwight, Book 1, Chapter 21. With the beauty of the rainbow fresh in her mind, Celeste soared southward with her passengers huddled together beneath her. Only Bridger occasionally peeked over the edge of his sturdy boat, his copper skin glowing in the warm sunlight. The animals dared not move. "See, I'm not afraid," he called to Celeste. "Okay, Bridger, but don't fidget. I wouldn't want the boat to tip over this high up," Celeste warned. "Save us, Hathor, and I promise to behave," Enid yowled. Floyd, sensing her true distress, pawed her to him and rested his head over her. Bridger lay back down in the boat against Ranger, who licked the boy's face. "I can see the island, so we'll be there soon." Celeste felt like she was flying faster than time. She knew she'd be back with Nick in a flash, but worried anew about him and her lost friends. Nick would be exhausted from his nighttime vigil. "Talk to me, Orville," she relayed with as much concentration as she could muster. "Let me know you're alive." A quiet "oui" was her reward, "but do hurry, ma petite." As she flew even faster over the growing expanse of water, a playful tune filled her ears, and she thought she could hear the laughter of a small child again. Do you hear that?" she called to her crew. "The wind whistling through my ears?" asked Floyd. "The creaking of this basket?" asked Ranger. "The beating of my poor heart?" asked Enid. "The growling in my tummy?" asked Bridger. "No, the music. Can't you hear the music?" When she got no reply, she refocused on her flying, afraid she might have been falling asleep and drifting into a dream. "Never mind, there's land. We're there." She scanned the horizon for any sign of change in the land. Seeing none, she searched for Nick. She spotted him curled up near the edge of one of the chasms. He was asleep. "We're landing here," she whispered to her passengers, "but don't make a sound. I don't want to startle my friend over there." Celeste sat down on an expanse of land a small distance from where Nick slept, and before she was out of the harness, the animals jumped from the boat, shook themselves, and stretched. Bridger remained where he was and looked around at the bizarre new landscape. "Stay here and I'll be right back." Celeste flew to where Nick lay. Ready to grab him if he rolled the wrong way, she whispered, "Nick, I'm back." "Oh, I'm awake. You're back," he stammered, finally waking fully. "I couldn't find them. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to fall asleep." He pulled himself up and, realizing how close he was to the edge of an opening, jumped away. He rubbed his eyes with Celeste's scarf and spotted the boat crew. "Who's the copper kid and how—" "I told you I'd tell you everything once we find our friends," Celeste cut him off. "I know Orville's still alive because I just do. Hey, the smell's mostly gone." She sniffed the air. "Yeah, right as the sun came up, it got better. I think that's when I must have fallen asleep." He reached around her and tied the scarf back around her hair, and Celeste felt his breath upon her cheek. She wished she could stop time for the two of them just then. "I don't know what's happening back in the village," he continued, his arms back at his sides. "But I feel like things might be normal again. I've never stopped something and fallen asleep before." "Well, it looks like nothing's changed here." Celeste looked around and remembered what she was supposed to be doing. "And I don't feel any rumbling, so maybe you haven't been asleep too long. We have to find Orville and Chimney." I know we do, but I just got this terrible feeling something horrible's about to happen in the village right now." Celeste remembered seeing the black vulture flying overhead before they left the village, and that meant the shifter was not affected by Nick's power. Teresa was alone in the garden. She and her doves would be helpless if it wanted to hurt them. Go, ma petite, and do what you must. Orville's voice was a whisper in her mind. We will hang on. Let's go there fast, then, she continued, talking to him as they ran toward the boat. Strengthen the time stopping here, and I'll come back on my own. My speed is crazy now, and I'll be able to cover the whole area fast. I'll find them, and I'm really worried about the cat. Her name's Enid, and she's not doing well. Nick stopped and looked around the site. Celeste could see the concentration on his face as he willed time to remain still. When he finished, they ran again to the others. This is Ranger and Floyd, and the boy is Bridger. He built the boat. And I don't want you to freak out or anything, but the animals can talk. It was time to be honest about that, too. I guess that's no big deal compared to what we can do. Hey, kid, are you all right? He asked Bridger, who was barely peeking over the edge. I'm just tired, mister, and hungry's all, he said. He's been through a lot, Celeste told Nick. I bet you'll eat one of these apples now, she said to Bridger, fishing one out of her shirt and handing it to him. He ate it greedily. Share these, said Nick, pouring the remaining food he had into the boat. Okay, everyone, back in, Celeste ordered. This flight will be faster than you can shake a tail. The dogs hopped back inside, but Enid remained curled on the ground. Come on, girl. Celeste reached to pick her up, and although the cat didn't fight, she lay heavy in Celeste's arms. We'll get you some good food, and you'll be feeling better in no time. Celeste feared the worst. Bridger held out his arms, and she handed Enid to him gently. She stepped back into the harness and called Nick to her side. There was no room for him in the tiny boat, and besides, she was excited to have him holding on to her again. Hold on, she told him, but she didn't have to. His arms were around her in a flash. She had never been more exhausted in her life, but his embrace gave her strength. They were back over the village swiftly, and Celeste could see Nick's power had worn off. Teresa was seated on the steps of the porch, oblivious to Blanche arguing with Mac behind her. Celeste was done with hiding her powers. Setting the boat down gently first, and with Nick clinging to her, she landed right in front of the porch. What the hell? Blanche said. Mac just stared, his mouth agape. The vulture circled the house and landed on the rooftop above them. That ends chapter 21 of book 1.